What's up, guys? RJ Bates III here, and I want to tell you to stop cold calling. If you are new and trying to get into real estate investing or wholesaling, and you think that cold calling is the best lead generating activity for you, I'm here to tell you you're wrong. So, here are my thoughts. There's this theory, this rumor in wholesaling and real estate investing that you need to get your reps in. And in order to get your reps in, you need to be cold calling because it's the cheapest and most economical way to do lead generating to get started in wholesaling. But here's the thing, cold calling is difficult, it's hard. You're literally, by all definitions, reaching out to the coldest leads possible and then asking them if they want to sell their house. You don't even know if they want to sell their house. So you're just choosing different motivating factors like vacant, pre-foreclosure, tax defaults, liens, code violations, all of these secret lists that we all have. It's all a bunch of BS, in my opinion. I've shown you guys how to pull a list over and over and over again here on the YouTube channel. The facts are, we are making assumptions that these people need to sell their house. And so then based off of that, we're then reaching out and we're asking if they have a house that they want to sell. And the majority of the time, the answer is no. Now, to me, I don't see how that is a valuable rep when you're getting started. It's literally like lifting weights without having any weight. There was nothing there to give you resistance. The answer was no. They don't want to sell. That didn't help you. You don't need to be getting your reps in. You need to be closing deals. You need to be generating revenue. You need to be talking to people that you know for a fact need to sell their house. A closable deal. Some would even say a lay down deal. So let's break it down. Let's make a random assumption that you have a budget of $1,200 a month. Okay, $1,200. Well, unless you want to literally hand dial from your cell phone, which would be ridiculous, and your number is going to get marked as spam very quickly, you need to have a dialer. Cheapest dialer is what, $100, $99 a month. Okay, so now you're down to $1,100. Well, you need to pull data, and you need a comping software. So you're probably going to choose either batch leads or PropStream to pull your data and have comping software. That's a minimum of another 100. So now you're down to 1,000. Okay. So let's assume you don't need any more money inside of your business. This is all you're going to do. You're going to have a dialer, and you're going to have your comping software and your data. And let's just assume you're getting free phone numbers, but you do have to buy phone numbers for your dialer. But for the sake of easy math for me in this story that we're building, let's just assume you're left with $1,000. So if you get the cheapest quality skip tracing that I know of for 10 cents of skip trace, you can get 10,000 records skip trace for your $1,000. So now you have 10,000 records that are skip trace. So as you upload that into your dialer, you're going to naturally just not get all of those skip trace. You're going to lose some of those in the data transfer, as well as when you scrub out the do not call registry, you're going to lose some of that data right out of the gates. And then when you start calling, the vast majority of these phone numbers are either going to be incorrect, go to voicemail. You're never going to get a connection to a seller. Okay. Let's say you talk to 25% of the people. That's 2,500 people. Well, the majority of those are not going to want to sell. They're going to ask you, how did you get my phone number? Why are you calling me? Why would you assume that I need to sell? So again, your daily revenue generating activities so far are leaving voicemails, calling wrong phone numbers. Then when you finally get someone to answer, they just immediately tell you no. Let's assume we stumble on some that do want to sell. This is a very cold outreach. You're saying Hey, do you want to sell? They're going to say, sure. What's your offer? How much would you give me? And so from that perspective, it's going to be one of the more difficult ways to close a deal, because they're going to come at you as, hey, you are pursuing me instead of the seller pursuing you. It naturally doesn't put you in the buyer's seat as with as strong of a posture as they do if they come to you. Okay. They're not broadcasting that their house is for sale. You're reaching out to them. So it naturally becomes an even more difficult close on you. Now, on the flip side, what we could have done is taken that $1,000 and we could have bought 10 leads from LeadZolo and had 10 verified sellers that have already admitted that they want to sell and had quality conversations. We could have gone to Speed Lead. We could have bought leads there. Or you could have saved that $1,000 and you could have gone out and you could have found for sale by owners on Zillow, just like I did. And you could be attacking leads that already are verified that they want to sell their house, which if you go into the closers formula, what's step number one? Verify that they want to sell. They still need to sell. Well, these lead generating activities already give us that answer. We're just asking just to verify, and then we're immediately rolling into what's your asking price. People have asked me time and time again, when you're cold calling, RJ, does the closers formula work? It does. You just have to amend a couple of parts of it. So instead of saying, hey, I'm just reaching out about 123 Main Street, you entered it on my website, are you still looking to sell that property? You have to say, hey, I'm calling about 123 Main Street, just curious if you're interested in selling that property. And then they say yes, or maybe, or they say, what's your offer? And then you say, well, what's your asking price? Now, the difference here is that when we go through the closure formula on an inbound lead, they normally give us the price. On a cold call, because we have reached out to them, we naturally have put them in a position of power, and they're more likely to not give it to us. So what does that mean? That means throughout the conversation, we're going to have to be asking a lot more questions, taking more time. And if you're newer, what is one of the things that you're probably not comfortable in? Comping and analyzing a deal, understanding where does an end buyer buy, and truly knowing what your offer needs to be. See, it's one thing if you get an inbound lead and you pull up your comps and you're seeing all of your comps in the low 200s, and a seller says, I need to sell, I'll sell my house right now for $75,000. You're feeling pretty decent. You know, if you hit them with our closing line, you could probably get them down into the 60s, maybe into the 50s, and you've got yourself a good deal. Now, assume that's a cold call and they won't give you that number. Now you're trying to reverse engineer it, trying to determine what that after repair value is. You're trying to determine where does your end buyer buy. You're not understanding how to come up with repairs. This is why these questions are constantly in our Facebook group, The Vault, being asked. Hey, I've got a lead here, but I don't understand where to comp it. Hey, I've got this lead here, but I'm not sure what to put down for the repairs. Because these are the biggest issues that new wholesalers face. And on top of that, this theory, this rumor that has been spread amongst the wholesaling industry that newer wholesalers, the first thing that you should do for lead generation is cold call, is we're putting you in the most difficult position possible to try to close a deal. And who needs to close a deal more than the person just getting started? Nobody. You don't have operating capital. You don't have that revenue coming in. You need it. Plus, you need the proof of concept. You need wins from a mental perspective. If I had to sit down on a dialer all day, every day, and get my teeth kicked in and get told no, 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 it's going to be a struggle to keep staying consistent as a tree, showing up every single day and saying, here's my why, here's my purpose. I don't know if I can achieve my why and my purpose with what I'm doing when it comes to cold calling. Now, I'm not saying real estate investors and wholesalers should not cold call. I believe in outsourcing cold calling to virtual assistants and it being a part of your business plan when you're established. You have the ability to outsource it to a virtual assistant to eliminate all of the voicemails, wrong phone numbers, no's, and get you to the yeses, just like inbound leads. Just like if you're looking at for sale by owners, at least we know that they want to sell. At least you can get your reps in that way because at least you're not having to waste reps with getting told, no, I don't want to sell my house. That's not a rep. That's pretend. That's an excuse the people are giving you so you can go out and do something. You can be busy. See, I don't believe in being busy. I believe in doing something that's going to generate a result for me. It's going to move the needle. And say, here's a closed deal. I sent out a contract. I sent out an offer. I got a closed deal. I have something to dispo now. I have a closing coming up. The actions that you're going to take with cold calling can become burdensome to your life and to your mindset and your mentality. I see it time and time again. People try to get started in this, and because they're told cold calling is the way to get started economically, but in reality, it's not much different than buying an inbound lead. The difference here is what I'm telling you is that go buy 10 leads from LeadZolo for $1,000 and you go, but that's only 10. What if I don't close? Okay, sure. Take that same exact $1,000 and get you 10,000 records. And then don't talk to 80% of those people. And then the 20% that you do, the majority of those don't have a house that they want to sell. We're starting to get down to the nitty gritty. We're running out of people to talk to. And because it's a cold call, it's a more difficult close for you. So in reality, is it more economical? No, I'm sure people are going to watch this and they're going to come with their stats and they're going to say, well, here's what I'm doing. You know, I'm closing 1 out of every 21 leads and this is how many dials it takes to, okay, that's great. Is that what you did on day one? I don't think so. And if you did, maybe you're a unicorn. The majority of people are not going to have the same skill set as the ones that are crushing it with this. This is an acquired taste for many people. The vast majority of us don't enjoy cold calling. And so when you're just getting started, why not put yourself in a position to win? To at least have a little bit of a head start with saying, okay, I know that I need to find someone that needs to sell. I need to find out what their price is. I need to find out what their pain and their motivation is. And then understand if they have pain and motivation and they have the right price, this is the person that I need to solve their problem. That's what we're looking for as a wholesaler. So if I can do that, I win. Why not give yourself a little bit of a head start when you're just getting started? Instead of just trying to be busy, go out and find people that already need to sell. And then, even if you don't want to invest the money in inbound leads, you can go out and you can look and see there is a house for sale and I see physically distressed property. They're probably motivated to sell. You're giving yourself a head start that cold calling cannot give you. So if you're new, brand new into real estate investing, here's my thing. I beg of you, don't cold call. Don't believe this rumor that you need to get reps in. It's a fairy tale. You're not truly getting reps in, okay? At the end of the day, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your resources and your mental bandwidth. Go out and have winning conversations that you know the person needs to sell. You know that they have a pain and a motivation to sell and solve that problem. Because you're going to run into so many other issues like comping and underwriting and understanding where end buyers buy. There's so much to this business. It's simple. It's not easy. Remember, make it easy on yourself as much as possible. So don't do cold calling. Do something better. Inbound leads. For sale by owners. Talk to people that need to sell. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. If you like this, make sure you like the video. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I'm curious to see how people react to this. This is polar opposite of what most people are telling you to do, which I like. I'm here to eliminate the excuses of why people aren't succeeding. And this is one of those reasons why I think newer people breaking into this industry are not succeeding, because they're starting off by cold calling, which is one of the most difficult ways to generate a lead in wholesaling. See you guys next time.